Welcome to Hey That's Me, a commentary podcast. I'm Patrick Cottner.
Wait, then I'm Brian Lynch.
That's so disappointing.
Oh, who did you think I was going to be?
Blorpo?
Oh, no, Blorpo's out. He's nowhere here. Patrick,
Yeah.
Is this the podcast where we do audio commentaries with people that have worked on movies and TV shows so people at home can play back this podcast while watching those projects and it'll sync up perfectly and people will learn something new?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, my God. From Cameron Crowe to Blorpo.
Guess
we have everyone.
Guess what we're doing today?
I don't know.
You literally don't know. We just started recording.
I know. He didn't tell me who we were doing.
Brian, today we're doing the 25th anniversary special for Sesame Street. Ever heard of it?
No. What is Sesame Street?
Oh, it's a TV show that's been on PBS and HBO Max and now Netflix for over 50 years.
Well, I've never heard of it.
Well, that's your loss, Brian.
Is it like Downton Abbey?
Brian, that's funny you mentioned that because when I interned there, they filmed a parody called Upside Downton Abbey.
That's great.
And everything was upside down.
I would
and
imagine.
Frank Oz was there.
Hey, that's great and all.
Yeah.
One time during alumni week, we had to house an alumni at our college, and he was really drunk. And when we came back, we had rearranged everything in our room to be upside down to throw him, including literally everything in our kitchen or in our refrigerator.
That's fun.
It was tacked.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and he was so mad. That's what you get.
One time in college, the boy who lived next to me, his roommate, never showed up, I think.
Oh, no.
Like when we started the year, so he just had a room to himself.
Yeah, that's great.
But there was also another empty room on the other side of the floor. And he went on a date with the girl he was dating. And while they were gone, we took everything out of his apartment, put it in the other room on the other side of the hall, and set it up exactly the same. Like we took
That's
photos
brilliant.
and did it.
Yeah.
And he walked in and his apartment was just empty.
Yeah.
And he was mad about it.
Oh, why would he be mad? That's clever.
I don't know. But Brian, today we're doing the
Sesame Street.
We're doing the 25th anniversary of Sesame Street special with Foley artist and sound effect wizard Dick Maitland.
That's insane.
And Dick Maitland has been there since 1969, Brian.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? The first season he got there.
Wow.
And is still working on the show today, which is crazy. I believe he is the last person who has been there since the first season who is still working there.
Grover.
Oh, I forgot about Grover.
Yeah. By the way, I was here for this one. Make no mistake, I was just really shy.
I recorded this one in New York. It was in sort of an echoey room. I tried to fix it up as much as I could.
He's the sound guy.
He's the sound guy.
Wow.
He wanted to leave the microphone on the table. So that's how it sounds.
Listen, when your whole life is sound, maybe on your day off, you don't want to worry about sound.
Yeah, I agree. This guy's been around for everything. And just hearing how sound effects were made in the 60s, sound effects are made in 2025. It's so different. This guy, he's brilliant, and he like keeps up with the times on how to do new sound technology.
Okay, good.
And it's something where I'm like, I don't even know how to do this. It's amazing that you have been able to adapt so much over the years.
Does he get to mic up Bert and Ernie? Like, does he go up their shirt and put the
It's a great
clip
question.
on their,
I don't know.
on their turtlenecks?
He's not really a mic guy. He's more of a sound effect
I know,
guy.
but sometimes you go perfection.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you get it, my joke? I was acting as if Bert needed to be mic'd on his shirt.
I got it.
Instead of Frank Oz or Eric Jacobson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Do you appreciate the fact that you have a friend that also knows the both guys that did Bert without having to look it up?
It's fun.
Cool.
Thank God.
Why aren't we both in charge of the Muppets?
Let us do it.
Give us your Muppets.
We'll
take your worst Muppet.
Yes.
And we'll make him a star.
Yeah.
Guy Smiley will be bigger
Guy Smiley, not the
than
worst.
Seinfeld.
Guy Smiley, not the worst.
No,
Muppet.
but I'm not saying he's the worst. But I just took someone that isn't adored by the world.
Yeah.
Who? Okay. We'll do this when we get back to think about it.
Yeah.
We'll listen to this one without me. I'm so sorry. When you get back, you're allowed one Muppet: Sesame Street, Fraggle, or Muppet Show. And you can't use any other Muppets in the show.
Okay.
And it can't be Kermit, Fozzie, Piggy, Bert, Ernie, Grover, Big Bird, or Cookie Monster.
None of the big boys.
Yes. Everyone else is a human. And you could either do a TV show or a movie with one Muppet.
I hate this.
I love this.
It's
This is my
favorite
dream
thing.
come true for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This is on YouTube. You can very easily find it on YouTube. The link is in the description down below. You can go click on that. Or you go to our Patreon and you can watch them synced up too, which is very exciting. Patreon.com/commentary.
I think the phrase is sunked up.
Synced up?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to get started in
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, we're here with Dick Maitland. Dick, we're watching a Sesame Street 25th anniversary special. How are you doing?
Well, considering that was 25 years ago, that's pretty special.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. You started season 1 on this show. You were very early.
Well, actually, he started season -1.
Yeah.
Because worked on a pilot down at 67th Street, was the old Reeve Tell-Tape studio.
Mm-hmm.
And was called down. I was working at ABC at the time in the sound effects department.
Mm-hmm.
And all the old timers didn't want to. There's some kids show down there. Go down and do shit.
Sure.
So I went down to do the kids show, and I met Jungs in the room.
Yeah.
And I met Frank Oz and Jim. I didn't know who they were. Yeah. You know. I did sort of know who Jim was because I had worked with him. And so they said, we got to do this pilot thing, which is the song Windy, which is, their song goes on forever.
Sure.
But they did it with a flying puppet, and he flies off screen and crashes. So they said, so you got to do a crash. I said, well, first it was 1968. Yeah. Nobody had any equipment. I didn't bring any equipment. I didn't know what they wanted. They said, get out and see him. I said, I have no equipment. He said, what are you going to do? He said, you're going to crash off screen. I said, okay, I'll build you a crash. So they all stopped and looked at me. And so I got the stage. I knew all the stage hands who had worked there before. So we went and got a whole bunch in the back room, a bunch of stuff, and piled it up in the middle of the floor with boards and boxes and everything you could think of, made a big pile. And he says, okay, go. So we roll tape, and the song comes in, and it flies off green. I threw myself into the pile of crap to a crash boom back. Then I had a bottle that I threw off as always a tail end of a crash.
Yeah.
And so they said, okay, well, we got to do it again. And all the stagehands are whining and moaning. Come on, guys, So I built the pile again, and we went to who did and they sing along. And so I threw myself into it again.
Yeah.
And they all started laughing. So I didn't realize they had turned the cameras around. They were taping me throwing myself into the pile of garbage. And so that was my first job at Sesame Street. And they had a wonderful guy that took over the show. He's worked for many years, Charlie. And then, but he passed away at the end of the year. He was not feeling well. They said, well, keep you in mind.
Sure.
And I got a call at the end of mine. He passed away, and they said, can he come down and cover up for Charlie? He's not going to be here.
Yeah.
So I did the second half of the first year.
Okay.
And we gave Charlie the credit for the whole year.
That's nice.
So that's why my name's not on the first year. And I started the second year, and I haven't looked back. Wow. That was 56 years ago.
And how do you keep it feeling fresh still?
Because in my mind, I'm a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And once you lock that age group into your imagination, you can go there. And I could be 4 years old with a snap of the fingers.
What does it take to get back to that 4-year-old? Is it easy for you still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just a natural thing. I've been doing sound effects all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but to get to the 4-year-old, which is what you have to look at with Sesame Street. Yeah. The problem with Sesame Street sometimes is that the grown-ups look at it from a grown-up point of view and not from a 4-year-old point of view.
Sure.
A classic case of that was the contract was up, and they wanted to cut back the show from 52 seasons to 25.
Yeah.
And so we had a big meeting in the workshop on Columbus Circle, and they said, well, we're going to cut back to 25 shows. And everybody around the room was, and a friend of mine who was who's a wonderful old writer raised his hand. He says, okay, which letter of the alphabet you want me to fire? So they all went, Jim, the microphone. Okay, we're going to do 26 shows. Okay. So, because sometimes there's a disconnect,
Of course.
And I see that all the time, even now.
Yeah.
They called me up. They said, I got a phone call. I said, Cookie Monster's not burping anymore. What are you talking about? That's his cap. It's his. And yes. I call Frank Oz. I said, he says, this is nuts. Well, because everything became politically correct. Sure. There was a whole wave of political correctness.
There's an education level that they want to, yeah.
And so they finally, and I railed against it, and I campaigned against it. Yeah. I sent letters, and Frank Oz, you yell at him, and a year later I got a phone call from the producer that runs the show, and he says, Dick, the burp's back in.
Amazing.
Any other questions? They said, well, no. That's how the burp came back in.
That's
because it's 4 years. If you're 4 years old, it's funny.
Of course. If you're 50 years old, it's funny. If you're whatever years old. When was the first time you were like, I think I want to try to figure out who? Let me rephrase that. When was the first time that you realized sound effects were a thing that people did in film or TV?
Well, because I worked at ABC for many years on soap operas.
Oh, wow.
And I worked on Dark Shadows.
Yes.
And we did a lot of crazy stuff on that, mostly on 78 RPM records, but mostly live props.
Yeah.
There's a lot of live props. So I learned live props.
Sure.
And if you go into Hollywood, there's rooms full of live props that people use for Foley stages and stuff like that. So I learned to use live props and to learn to eye ear. And you got to turn your brain. You have to learn how to turn your brain off to do a sound effect. Because if your brain gets involved, it's screwed up every time.
Sure.
You'll be late. You'll be early. You're thinking about it. Well, is this the right one? The wrong? You got to turn it off and just go eye ear. I mean, sorry, eye hand.
Yes.
So you can just automatically just think and do it. Wow. And so once you learn the art to do that, I've had people who have trained to work with me and they can't do it.
Yeah.
They can't turn the brain off. He says, I can't do this. I said, just turn your brain off. Well, I can't turn my brain off. I said, well, then you can't do it. And so there's an art to that.
Were you a big radio show fan as a kid? Because it feels like that has so much Foley effects in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to all the radio shows and Lone Ranger and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew a lot of the effects weren't real.
Yeah.
But I wondered how they did that.
Sure.
Like Sergeant Preston of the Yukon was another favorite. Great sound effects on that. So I grew up listening to all those as a kid.
Yeah.
And I was always interested in it. And so when I got to college, I went to WBHC, which is the local radio station there. And I went down there and I got involved and started producing shows. And so I started producing sound effects for the shows that I did.
Oh, sure.
And so that led to me where I am today.
Do you feel like that the soap operas had similar schedules to Sesame? Because I feel like they both go very fast in a way.
They do. Well, they were taping live. Don't forget, this is all live.
Oh,
stuff.
Sure.
There's no editing.
Sure.
Back in those days, and when we did Wide World of Sports, that was live. That was mostly just live to picture.
Yeah.
And you just had to do the sound effects live.
Yeah.
Okay, what sound effects did you do live for Wide World of Sports? Okay, the answer to the question is golf. Because they couldn't get any microphones out there to hear the guy whack the ball and the ball going in the paper in the cup.
Wow.
So we used to get out into the basement of ABC 67th Street, and there was a room, and we would do live to air. They would just they'd just open up, the audio guy would open up the room, and we'd have a picture there. We were watching.
Yeah.
And so we had one guy that would do a little whack of the ball when they're hitting it, or whatever they're doing. And then I was the guy that stood there with a paper cup surrounded by a napkin, and I'd drop the ball into the cup, a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
So the ping pong ball sounds more realistic than a golf ball.
That's insane.
So we're dropping it in the cup. And so we got a phone call. Bruin Oilers got a phone call from somebody in England. I forget who it was. And they want to know what kind of microphone we use to get the golf ball sound. So Bruin said, it's a new Sennheiser mic. We just bought it, and it's very expensive, and that's what we use. So about a month later, I saw him in the hallway, and he said, hey, Dick, I just got a call from Sennheiser. They want to know what microphone we bought to use to do the golf ball.
Yeah.
I said, lie through your teeth because we're going to fake it.
That's great. You sent me a list of the special effects on a website, or the sound effects on a website, very long list. And it was showing all the different libraries that you use. How do you keep those straight? Like, how do you know where things are? Do you just have a filing system of everything?
After so much time in the grade, you know your way through the forest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you know all the trees of the forest.
Yeah.
And what it is, I've got about 2.7 million sound effects online that I can access by name using SoundMiner.
Sure.
And so, but once you get it, the whole idea is it's not just that effect, because you can vary speed them.
Sure.
So basically, 200,000 is equivalent to 2 million. I'm sorry, I have 2 million sound effects.
Yeah.
So that translates, 700,000, 2 million. I figured I got 2 million online. But that translates to 100 million if you vary the speed. You can just vary the speed of all of them.
Sure.
To make them match. And then you do a layer cake. Most people don't realize that sound effects is usually done with professional sound effects, but done as a layer cake. So you put a boing, and then you want to tailor the boing. That's another track. And then you want a little crash, and you have that side of the track. So sometimes there's 8 or 9. I just did a show yesterday, and I had 9 tracks of sound effects doing one crash.
Wow.
to match the video.
Yeah, of course.
And so I have a meeting at 3:30 today, and we're going to go over that. But I warned them. I said, "There's 9 tracks to that, so make sure you open all the faces." Because many times they would just forget. If you open up it's not just the first 2 tracks; it's all the tracks. It's a layer cake.
Yeah. No, that's. I mean, that makes sense because you also want it to feel unique.
Yeah.
You want each one to feel different, whatever.
Yeah.
How often do they come back and go, "That's not the right fall. That's not the right crash"?
The agony in my life is that there are like 4 or 5 producers that get online to make judgments.
Yeah.
And they all have different opinions. Of course, everybody has the 2 years is on everybody is 8 opinions. So what I did is that's enough. That's it. I want to listen to one person.
Mm-hmm.
You guys get together, screen the shows, tell me what you'd like and don't like, and then I'll fix it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done.
I think that's
the music guy. They were making the music guys great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we said, that's it. You got to. So they do that now. So now what they do is I get a picture of the show.
Yeah.
And I have the notes of all the people that screen the show and what they think they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I start. So I can begin with that, and then I can nudge it gently back into what really works for the show.
Yeah.
Sometimes the areas don't work. And sometimes they say, that's ridiculous to do this, and they oh, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea what I know.
Sure.
And so I just to give them my best shot. And so we try to get as close as we can, but we do 3 different evaluations before we go to air with it.
That's wild. We're watching right now. The Count is on screen, and I feel like the Count has a lot of sounds.
Well, the Count has, first of all, he's got the Cape sound, which you don't really hear very often. And number 2, he's got his patent leather footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a pair of patent leather shoes with which I wrote in the light inside. I wrote the Count.
Oh wow!
So when I do his footsteps, which you have to have because he walks in very deliberately.
Yes.
And then the thunder and the lightning,
mm-hmm.
which sometimes he just does the lightning, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I forget to do the lightning. There's always the lightning. So we're just going to do thunder because you can't see the lightning. And so we do that, and that's part of what Jim wanted too. Jim was very specific when we doing the shows, and he wanted the puppets to react like.
Mm-hmm.
Most puppets would come in and they'd float around. They're just like Punch and Judy. They'd float around.
Yeah. And
so he would say, "What can you do?" And I said, "Well, we can do sound effects if you want. We'll try it later."
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing a show the next day when I first came on, and he was walking across the set after being fully drenched by Oscar, who sprayed him down with water.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did my usual squishy footsteps. Uh-huh. Well, he didn't expect me to do them live, which I did the squishy footsteps to him walking across. He got halfway across the set and he stopped in his tracks. Uh-huh. And he says, "Who's doing that?" He forgot that I was there. He says, "Is that Maitland?" Says, "Yes." Says, "Go find out what he did." Yeah. So they ran over. Somebody ran over. His second ran over and said, "What are you doing to do this?" I said, "It's squishy footsteps. It's simple Foley stuff."
Yeah.
Well, what it is, if you want to do squishy footsteps, trade sequence, you get a plastic tub,
mm-hmm.
you fill it with warm water because cold water really is, and a little bit of cold, a little bit of warm water,
uh-huh.
and towels, lots of towels to soak up all the water.
Oh, sure.
But it's got to be soapy water, so you got to spritz it with soap. So you spritz with soap and you mix it up and you get it all soaked up with the towels, and then you squish it, squish, 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 and it's the squishy sound you ever heard.
Wow.
Squishy wet towels. And so that's what I used to have walk him live across the set. Which he just thought he was laughing.
Now, is that something that you made up, or is that something that someone told you? Or
no, I made it up.
You just made it up.
Yeah. And but don't forget, I had a lot of experience doing live sound effects at ABC.
Of course, yeah.
And it's fun to do it.
Yeah. Is there anything that's ever stumped you over the years?
There was an effect when I worked with Jim in a movie called Imadato's Jug Band Christmas, where he takes a hammer and he's supposed to destroy a pot,
mm-hmm.
and we couldn't come up with the sound. We tried everything, and he said, "Jim, it's just not right." I said, "Jim, this has to be a music effect." So let all the music people listening know, I don't always try to put a sound effect in. I sometimes know better and put the music cue in. And we did a music cue with a big drum and that worked so much better.
Yeah.
So,
you must work closely with the music people, I assume.
I do, yes.
Yeah. Are you guys' offices next to each other?
Well, no, I've been through 6 music directors on Sesame.
Oh, sure.
I've been through them all.
Yeah.
And
is it Paul now? Is Paul still doing it?
Paul does vocal.
Oh, okay.
He works the vocal.
Okay.
And so this new group of musicians, I try to work with them. We try to get together and I say, what are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And here's what I'm going to do. And because I have to be careful not to put effects in that compete with the music.
Sure.
Either in tonality or frequency, so like that. So we try to work together to coordinate stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have a thing that flies by and I want to put a clash of bells or something. Uh-huh. They say, well, that's the wrong pitch. I said, give me a break with the pitch, it's a bell.
Were you a music guy growing up? Did you ever play an instrument or anything?
I never did.
No.
My mother tried to give me piano lessons and I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I regret it to this day.
Sure. You still could.
I still could. It's a little past prime though.
Yeah, that's all right. How often do you think you were on set during this? Like, would you go down and watch all the time?
Yeah. I was there every day.
Yeah. Was there anyone that you were ever intimidated by when they showed up?
Only Frank Oz.
Yeah.
Because he was very, very, very specific in what he wants. And Jim also was very critical about it because he was a sound effects maven, so I couldn't run anything by. So I'd get down on the set and I'd, with the script in my hand, I'd say, talk through. Here's what I'm going to do. What do you want? Said, blah, 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 blah. There was one scene where Frank came onto the set as a very famous general in World War II, and he came up the steps, and I gave him ladies' footsteps, which he got on the top of the stairs and looked at his feet. He says, Maitland. So the roar of the studio is cracking.
Of course, yeah. Do you have you had a favorite studio? Because it's gone through a few different spaces.
We started off at Reeves Teletape on 67th Street. Yeah. We moved up to 81st Street, which was great because I was on the floor there and I could operate, but then it got so crowded.
Sure.
And if I tried to do post work, then the crew wanted to get paid for the whole studio.
Sure.
So they moved me to a back room. And so that's why in that back room became the room in Sesame at Kaufman Studios, which is now where my room is.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 rooms at Kaufman that's part of the set. And the set still stands today.
Yeah.
They can't afford to take it down. It costs $500,000 to take the set down.
I mean, it's big and it's intricate. And
it's labor and put it back up again.
Yeah,
So they made a deal with us. So look, give us a deal in the studio. We'll just pay to keep the thing open.
Sure.
So to save the money now.
That makes sense.
So that's what we did.
I remember when I mentioned that I had interned there. We talked about that before. I had to come drop something off to you or something. And I just remember your office was like awe-inspiring. There was a lot of stuff in there.
Well, that's Foley props.
Yeah.
It's 3 rooms of plastic tubs full of different props that I've collected over half a century.
Do you have something that you can use for the most amount of things? Like, do you have like, oh, this wooden block I've used for 3,000 things or whatever? Is there?
Well, what I use most of the time to make footsteps. So, I mean, there's all kinds of footsteps, but we have a cow, a horse, and a pig.
Uh-huh.
And they want
we're watching ducks and cows walk by on the screen right now.
And that day, so the ducks, I would do bare feet.
Okay.
That slap them, slap, stop, stop.
Yeah.
The count where I'd do the count and with the high heels, with the leather shoes.
Uh-huh.
And then, but all the cows and everything were just coconut shells.
Oh, interesting.
The stupidest and simplest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Take a coconut shell, cut it in half.
Yeah.
Get everything out of it.
Sure.
Let it dry. Then take some gaffer tape and put it around the edge so it's not quite as sharp. And clop, clop, clop. That's the sound of all the animals on Sesame Street.
Wow. You're also, you have the rare distinction. I heard you talk about this. They gave you Big Bird feet, right?
They gave you what?
Didn't they give you Big Bird feet so you could?
Oh, yes.
The steps?
The very few times did Big Bird walk across the set where you want to hear him.
Yeah.
There are sometimes they want to hear him clumping. So I had stuff that I would do, and they said, it's not quite right. So the wonderful people, the people at Sesame Street made me a pair of Big Bird shoes.
Yeah.
And so I've got this big shoes I put on just like Carol puts on.
Yeah.
And they're big floppy flop, flop. It just sounds like a carpet whacking on the floor.
That's amazing. I mean, we're looking right now, maybe one of the most iconic noises on the show.
Well, the rubber duck is a very famous duck.
Yeah.
That duck is called a right-hand looking duck.
Mm-hmm.
They were made in New Jersey by this one guy that made ducks, and the prop person on the show knew this guy and came up with that duck. It's a right-hand turning duck, and there's a little squeaker in the bottom of it, which is made in China. So that particular squeak I take the squeak out of it.
Sure.
Because they want to articulate the squeak. So what I do is I'll take and I'll literally blow the squeak.
Oh, wow.
So it's a little squeaker that I can actually articulate the duck with.
Yeah.
And that's when, and they want to know when they're going to squeeze it and what it's going to sound like.
Yeah.
Can you give me a long, squeak and a wee? So I use this regular squeak.
Yeah.
And a wee.
And you must have all of those recorded at this point. You're not doing those fresh each night.
Sometimes I do them live because sometimes it's so much faster.
Sure.
Just to open the mic up. So in my room at home, I have a short shotgun microphone set up, and I do a lot of live effects. I have a little table and a cement block because most of the stuff is on the street walking, so the footsteps I can just do them live. Sometimes it's so much faster just to foley it right in.
Yeah.
Then it stop. Go look it up, try to edit it in.
Sure.
And try to edit footsteps. Edit footsteps? You got to be kidding.
Yeah. I want to ask you about a few of the people who worked on the show in the past, just to hear your memories of them. John Stone? Can you talk about John a little
Well,
bit?
John Stone started the show. A lot of the guys came over from Kangaroo.
Yeah.
And some of the sound effects guy came over from Kangaroo as well. So they were used to doing, kids shows, and he came over and he started the show. And it was Jim. He's one of the people that helped talk Jim into it because Jim didn't want to do the show.
Yeah.
Jim was making a fortune working for IBM in the 60s.
Sure.
And I worked on the shows for IBM. And I saw what he was doing.
Yeah.
They were doing Muppets way before Sesame Street.
Sure.
Cookie Monster was eating buildings before there was Sesame Street.
Uh-huh.
So there's a prehistory of all the Muppets and Jim Henson.
Yeah. And
those industrial shows were very, very, very expensive to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim was making a fortune. So he didn't want to do Sesame Street.
Sure.
Well, no, kids show. I had a fortune with IBM.
Yeah.
But they talked him into it, and he finally came around. And all the Muppets that were on Sesame Street are endemic to Sesame Street. He has a whole, archipelago of other puppets that they take in for other shows they do and all the other puppets.
Yeah.
And Kermit the Frog is one of them.
Yes. The crossover.
Yeah.
Carol Spinney.
Carol was unique in the fact that he had the strongest right arm I've ever seen in a man in my life because he could hold that costume up. Most people didn't know that he would stand. He put the costume on, and he stood there with his arm up in the air, with his hand in the mouth of the bird, and making the bird work.
Yeah,
and that took a lot of work. It took a lot of time to do that, and then he had to do the voice, but. The other people don't know that he also does the voice of Oscar the Grouch.
Yes.
He does the Grouch. So there were scenes where they were taping both of them and stop and tape them and add them later.
Of course.
And then when he passed away, they got somebody else to do the bird, but he's really very good at he really got the voice down.
Yeah.
There's a very specific vocal knack to get that voice right.
Sure. Jerry Nelson. Do you have any Jerry Nelson stuff?
Jerry Nelson was he was amazing at what he did. He was the one that basically invented Elmo.
Yeah.
He came into the studio one day and he gave him this stupid puppet, and he didn't like it. It was a red puppet, and he had a voice that didn't work. And they said, "This Muppet doesn't work." And he threw the Muppet on the floor.
Yeah.
There was a young man was sitting there who was just new to the show, and he picked up the puppet. He stuck his hand in it, and he did this Elmo voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked outside and said, "This work better." And that was the beginning of Elmo. From the floor, the hand of there's two different guys who have done Elmo.
Yeah. Do you have any interactions with like Joan Gans Cooney? Was she around?
Oh, sure.
In the early
she was there all the time.
Yeah.
She when I first started the show, she was sitting in the control room. So I met her the day one.
Yeah.
And she's the one that said, made the call.
Yeah.
Just to call Dick when the gentleman passed away. And I got the first call. So I've known her all these years. And She's very smart. She's very articulate,
Mhm.
and she really has put an iron hand in the show for many years. You know,
one of the guys who, when I was there, I was kind of obsessed with was Frankie Biondo.
he's still
Tell
still around.
Talk to me about Frankie.
His legs gave out on him, and he just couldn't do the studio work anymore. But he's still there, and we still talk about it. We used to do a show at the end of the year. We would put on a show, and he would produce a whole show. In the studio, and we'd all have cast and crew, and then do the show, and characters were on the stage, and
that's great.
They'd do all these cartoon effects. This is all X-rated, and all the tapes are sealed away.
Of course,
it was he was the one that arranged all that, but then he finally had to just say, sayonara.
He was, for people listening, he had been the camera operator, I think, right? Since
camera one.
Yeah. What you also do something that I find fascinating, which is sweetening audiences.
Yes, I do. It's endemic to what I do. It's what I do is I have audiences that are mostly all dead now, but they're recorded, and so I used to go to do live sweetening. Now most people don't know what that is, and when you do a live show, when you have live microphones and you have an audience, if the live microphones, if the audience starts clapping while the microphones are still hot, you guys talking, you can't hear them because you'll hear the voice of going to the audience more than you hear the applause.
Sure.
So what the audience sweetening does is comes in and starts doing the applause ahead of time so that the microphone can be turned down and they can bring the real audience in.
Yeah.
So there's a transition point, which is sweeter, goes back and forth. And then during the show, if there's a comedian wants to laugh, you can't have a live mic in the laugh because you got his microphone.
Sure. Yeah.
So all you hear is the microphone talking. So what sweetener does, it comes in and reacts to the thing that watches the audience. I can see the audience. I have a monitor on the audience. I can see when they're reacting or not. I react as if I was them.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do. It's 4 keyboards on the laptop.
Oh, wow.
And I have the laughs, applause, cheers, and giggles and stuff. They're all different little keyboards, little short MX, whatever it is, keyboard. Little mini keyboards.
Yeah. Do those all, are they similar gigs, or are some, you work on the Macy's parade? Is that different than working on whatever?
Well, there's there's a whole California crew that does that now.
Yeah.
And I think I used to do the 4th of July show in Washington. I used to do the cannon fires.
Oh, wow.
So the cannon fires were a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't hear them on camera. And so we got the 1812 overture, and there's a cue for the cannon going off. Sure. And you got a picture of the cannon. You see the flash, and then you have to wait like 3 seconds to hear the coming around. So they said, enough of this. We want to have Maitland put the cannon in. So that was my job. I had to put the cannon in when I saw the picture. And to this day, what they did is the audio guy was a very good audio guy. I said, you got to do something. We can't hear the cannon. He says, don't tell anybody. It's just between you and I. And what he'd do, he would lower the entire orchestra just about 2 dB or 3 dB lower to give headroom for the cannons.
Oh,
but he would never tell the producers.
That's because I'm sure the orchestra would not appreciate that.
Not appreciate it.
Yeah. Wow. Did you think that you would work in children's television this long?
No.
Yeah.
Who would?
But you're happy about it. You're like,
it's been my life, and it supported me and my family. My son was baby Gabriella on the show.
Yes.
And my wife was the nurse that brought baby Gabriella on the camera, so they still get little.
Like
87 cents.
Amazing.
Every 2 years or so, they get a little reward.
That's great. When was the moment when you realized you had to switch over to digital?
78. When I was working at ABC, I started doing sound effects, and you have carts,
and
so everything was a cart. You had I had a 12-deck cart machine. 18-track cart machine. When they first started the show, it was 18 tracks of carts.
Wow!
But I got an emulator, an EM2, and then I went to the emulator 3, and so you could do banks of emulator. And to this day, I've recorded all of them. Of course, I have saved them all.
Sure.
And I go back on my computer. I go back to the original emulator cues.
Oh, wow!
I just play them on a keyboard.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's done. But the digital it's all digital now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my little cement slab, my little box of cement slab. For example, there was a piece yesterday So, there's some little monkeys, and I'd do a little feet of them dancing.
Sure.
Bare feet.
Yeah.
So there was a little piece of funny material yesterday, and I had to come up with a sound for it. So there was a box. They made a cartoon boxes and rattled it on the stage. Well, to go through 2 million sound effects and find cardboard box rattle. Okay. So I just opened the mic, took a piece of, there was a little a box of cookies that I had. I opened up and I just rattled the cookie box on the cement slab. And it's exactly what I needed. So it took like 3 seconds to do that.
That's great.
Instead of, 20 minutes or 30 minutes trying to digi designing.
Yeah. Was it intimidating when you were like, oh no, I need to learn a whole new system?
No, because you just develop this skill over time. And, working with the different programs, I had to develop conversations with a lot of programmers that made this stuff.
Yeah.
Can I do this? Can I do this? How do I do this? Can you make it do that?
Sure.
And so there's a lot of back and forth between the developers of the programs and myself.
Yeah.
And so, because I want to do something most people didn't do.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of back and forth, and they made adjustments. They showed me how to do it.
That's cool.
So they'd get some guy in France, and his name Francois, and Francois would go and figure it out and call back, do this and do that, and it'll work. I said, okay, thank you.
Are you doing now they're tap dancing right here?
Yeah.
Is that you?
I'd be me tap dancing, right?
Is that?
It depends on the if I'll do Grover tap dancing right here, but he would be bare feet,
hairy,
thumping on the wood. I have a wood plank, that I would flump on.
Are you a dancer?
Am I? No, but anybody can tap dance.
Sure, that's true.
Oh, it's not true. Not everybody can tap dance. No. Most people can just fake it. They can shift their weight, but the real weight, the secret tap dancing, secret revealed, you sit down. If you sit down, you take all the weight off your body, and you can.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a couple of tap dances on the show, and I had to mimic their tap dancing.
Oh, sure.
And the guy looks up from the microphone. He says, "Who's doing the tap dancing?" He says, "The sound effects guy, Maitland." He says, "Is he a tap dancer?" "No, he's a sound effects guy." "Well, how's he doing the tap dancing?" And I finally went down to the set, and I met him. I shook his hand. He says, "I'm Dick Maitland on the sound effects." "How did you do the tap dance?" I said, "I sat down." "Oh, you're cheating. No fair."
He wishes he could sit down. It would make his life so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
That's so funny. Would you work on the animated segments that came in too?
In the early days, I did a lot of that because we would get wonderful films in.
Yeah.
But the audio was terrible. It was awful. And then, so I spent a lot of my times creating the sound effects and would post them and then put them into the show.
Sure.
And nowadays they're much more, you get much more quality in what we get from the developers now. So unless it's really bad, then they say, "Dick, they're going to send you something and I'll fix it."
Yeah. Do you think the animators liked you working on it? Or
no?
Yeah, right.
They're so what's wrong with what I did?
Yeah.
How dare you insult my work?
Do you have I'm sure everyone asks you this. Do you have a favorite character?
Well, to me, of course, Oscar was always the favorite.
Yeah.
Because I get to do, most people, they don't do it anymore because they're all touchy-feely down. But Oscar had a whale in his garbage can, and he would have a sound. There's the whale down there. And then he had all kinds of animals down there.
Sure, elephants.
The elephant trunk came up, and so Oscar's my favorite. And then Slimy the Worm came along.
Yes.
Which then became his alter ego.
Yes.
And but I do the voice of Slimy the Worm,
which is amazing.
Well, but because the guy that does it does Snuffleupagus, and he can't get his voice that high.
Sure. Yeah.
So we have a deal. I do the voice, he gets paid for it. Yeah.
Now, what is the noise you are making when you're recording Slimy?
It's live.
Oh, wow.
I can pitch my voice up like this.
Yeah.
But then I pitch it up higher.
Sure.
And I use a device, a pitch shifter, which is developed by a gentleman who's retired, lives in Italy. And I call him and say, "How do I get this stop getting stuff, gargling, the artifacts?" And he says, "Oh, you got to modify it." "Oh, that's easy for you. What do I modify?" "Well, you open the box, you do this, and put this capacitor in it." He says, "You get rid of all that stuff."
Wow.
So I modified my box. So I have my box that I carry. I don't leave it at the Sesame Street. I take it so it's home with me.
Yeah.
And that's how I do the voice did. So it's so clean. It's absolutely crystal clear.
They use Slimy a lot, or they did at least for a while.
They still do, not as much as they used to, but it depends. Sometimes they'll do a whole lot of slimy.
Yeah.
Slimy. They'll call me up. Now they have a digital section at the workshop, and they use Slimy in that.
Oh, sure.
So I'll get calls, to do Slimy for the digital work, and then I call the puppeteer and say, okay, this is what I did, so he could bill him.
That's great. Do you feel protective over him?
Oh, very.
Sure. Slimy? Yeah.
No, it's his character.
Yeah.
And he's Slimy everywhere, but he allows me to do the voice. And I have pictures of Slimy that I'll sign for people. He says, that's fine, just sign it.
Yeah.
He says, I don't care about that.
That's funny.
He said, but I always tell them that it's Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
Does the worm. They look at me like, I don't understand.
Who are you excited to see when you go into work?
Well, when I go in to see the work, if some of the production people I love to see because they're really into the writers, especially. Some of the writers are the most the fun people to work with.
Yeah.
And because you can throw ideas at them and they listen to you and say, well, that's a better way. Let's do this. We change that word. If he does this, can he do that?
Yeah.
So we have a dialogue on the set with the scripts in our hand, and the puppets are involved in that.
Oh wow!
So there's a mishmash of stuff going on in the studio. Be sure to taping, and that I enjoy very much.
What's a stand? Well, here's some more tap dancing right here.
That would be I'd be tapping.
Yeah.
On the stairs.
Is there nothing on the bottom of those shoes that he's wearing? Like
no,
so nothing would be making noise. Yeah. Do you ever have to take out noise from the set, or is that just?
We can do that. There are devices that allow us to do that. I had one the other day that somebody accidentally opened up a microphone and got a wooey sound. And there's a couple programs, you probably know what they are. You can literally just or take them out with a pen.
Yeah. What is how has your standard day working on the show changed?
Well, if I go to the studio, it depends on what's going on in the studio and the timing of the day.
Yeah.
When I'm doing post work, then it's in my schedule. They send me a show, and I have about a week to do all the effects for it and deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
But working at home, sometimes I go to the studio to do a lot of stuff that I need to record live there because it's quiet. And I could do about 70% of the work at home these days because of what I do.
Sure.
I have three devices at home. Then I have a huge library at my fingertips, and I have my little brick slab, a little live microphone, and I have a cement slab to do footsteps on. So I can do most of the stuff at home.
Yeah.
And except when I get trapped, I got to go to the studio.
I guess that must have been nice during COVID. Because
the reason I did it at home, the reason my wife gave up her dining room, and she is basically going to get divorced if I don't give it back to her, is because of COVID. Because I could. First of all, then I got spoiled because I'm not driving an hour a day to go to the studio.
Sure.
So this is really good. I could do this in my underwear now, which my wife also complained about. I said, put your pants on. No, I'm not drinking.
The divorce reasons are racking. Did you have to go get anything from the studio, or did
I go back and forth?
Yeah, but during COVID, I was saying.
Sure. I would go back and forth.
Yeah.
It was they did close that. When you wear a mask and you walk up, I could get my stuff.
That's nice.
But it was a sealed studio, and it's totally air conditioned. But nobody's we kept it closed.
That makes sense.
Except with certain exceptions that nobody's going to talk about.
Yeah. There's a lot of tap dancing in this special. I feel like I keep looking, and it's just like
no. In this case, he's not wearing tap shoes. He's wearing. You see those?
They're just sneakers.
So that's the sneakers. Those are his. You can't quite see it now, but those are his not Patent, the Oxford. What do you call them? What do you have?
Oh yeah.
Striped shoes.
Yes, I can't think of what they're called.
Yeah. And occasionally his Bert and Ernie in bed, and I have a sheet, a very crinkly sheet that I use so it can make some sound. Blankets don't make sound, except on Sesame Street. So on the center of blankets on Sesame Street. He'd get out of bed and he'd be on a rug there. So I'd do bare feet on a rug to understand what he's doing there.
How much trial and error is there on when you're crinkling the sheet? What the level of volume it should be?
Well, in post, I just do it, and they would mix it. They do just it. When we're doing it live, we usually have a run through a tape, a dress rehearsal and a tape. So by dress rehearsal, we know what the love's going to be, and they go right into taping.
Okay.
So in this case, you have Dancing Sheep.
Yeah.
Which would be if you want to do the sound of a little sheep foot, what that is, a little yellow reel that goes inside of a film reel.
Okay.
The hub of the reel.
Sure, the middle. Yeah.
Little plastic yellow hubs, and that's the sound of the sheep feet.
Now, are you doing 4 separate tracks for them, or is it?
I'll do this week, and then the
Plus
truck will be a separate music.
Yeah. But I mean, for each of the sheep,
I'll probably do 2 tracks.
Okay.
So 1 track doesn't cover it, but the 2 tracks seems to you can alternate the
random
track.
Enough. Sure. What is going to the Emmys like for you?
Well, we don't go to the Emmys anymore because they changed the rules. We used to go all the time, and we just sit there and you wait.
Yeah,
and we'd win a lot.
Yeah,
because it was the best show in our category.
Sure.
To go up there and then introduce the crew. And as the eldest guy, they would say, "You give this speech."
Sure.
So the first thing we do is thank Joan Gans Cooney because I'm not stupid, and then we would introduce all the guys and make some jokes.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
Are you nervous going up there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you
push through it?
I'm not a stage actor.
No, I know. But you're good at talking. You're good at like telling stories and stuff, and you'd think that maybe that would translate.
Well, sometimes it does.
Yeah. How do you push through it?
You just hold your breath.
Yeah.
And you go up there and you just do it. And but it's easy because when I thank Joan Gans Cooney, usually it gets a round of applause, because people Joan,
yeah.
And so then it makes it easier because then I throw some joke lines in, and then we do the thank yous, and I thank, obviously, and I would thank the people that are sitting and the producer.
Sure.
And then we go off stage and collect the Emmys.
Yeah. I assume everyone's on your side too because you're Sesame Street.
Oh yeah.
Everyone is like, yes, obviously, of course, give it to them.
Yeah. I walk around sometimes. I have a jacket that I'm wearing today, which it's my winter jacket. Has a Sesame label on it. And people walk up to me and say, "I love your show."
That's great.
And they just walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's got to be a good feeling. Like,
yeah.
It is the show that maybe has had the most impact on culture.
And it did. It did have, and it's funny. Now that we're under the pressure of getting rid of a lot of the shows, there's been a lot of pressure for Mr. Trump to realize that this show is shown in 67 countries.
Yeah,
it's one of our best ambassadors.
Yeah,
so we got to keep it running,
of course.
And I think that's one of the reasons that Netflix put their money in. So this is not left-wing rabbits attack that you're mad about. This is
you're teaching children. You're making the world a better place.
For the record,
yes,
Aldo is not a leftist. Okay, just saying.
Thank you so much for saying that. Want to get it out there. Where do you keep your Emmys? To go back to that very quick.
I have a shelf in my apartment.
Yeah,
I have like 12, 13 of them there.
Yeah,
and the rest are just paper that I could turn into things, but they're not.
Oh, sure.
I got 37 on them, so.
They
pile up.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That has to be close to a record, if not a record.
They're very heavy, by the way.
Yeah. Are you nervous that shelf is going to break?
Oh, no.
No? All right.
So they're pretty sturdy.
Underwater sounds. Is that easy for you? Is that fun?
It's a lot of fun. Because there's a lot of, I get a lot of loops, but sometimes, you want stuff to cube with a bubble at a certain point. So you can sit there for an hour and edit the bubbles. Or you can take a glass of water and a straw. And make your own bubbles. Okay, Sesame Street secret number 3. Get a glass of water and a straw, and you are a bubble machine.
Yeah. A lot of these things feel so obvious when you say them, which I guess is great. It makes it easier for you. What do you miss about the older days of the show that is not?
Well, the old days of the show, you can see elements of it here.
Yeah.
It was much more 4-year-old centered.
Yeah.
It was always centered about that.
Yeah.
And doing songs that are endemic to that age group, And we started getting much more serious later on in the shows and lately. And it's a good thing. I mean, maybe it's a very good thing that we teach emotions and stuff because kids are very emotional.
Yeah.
they react emotionally.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful scene where the Big Bird went up to the roof to wait for Santa Claus,
Mm-hmm.
and he fell asleep up there, and he's out in the cold,
Mm-hmm.
and Maria runs around looking for him, and she rolls and she bangs on Austin can and say, where is Big Bird? He's up on the roof waiting for Santa. You told him to go up there. I said he'd be there. And she yells at Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing. And Oscar the Grouch feels terrible that he goes to help out.
Yeah.
So those are things that I think kids react to.
Sure. Well, it feels like a real situation that they're in.
Yeah.
You know. Did you work on the movies too?
I worked on several of the movies.
Yeah.
Again, I told you the one about Amidato's Christmas.
Yeah.
And the Dark Crystal.
Oh wow.
And so and there's a lot of stuff that I work with Jim that is for IBM that most people don't know about.
Yeah.
A lot of those things are locked up in Armonk.
Sure. Is there a difference between working on a TV schedule like this versus a movie schedule in terms of sound?
Totally different.
Do you have more time?
Oh yeah. You have more time. You have more time to pick it out.
Yeah.
Well, you know when the mix is going to be, so you're aiming to get to the mix, but you've got the finished video way ahead of time.
Sure.
You know, I get my stuff. It's like maybe if I get one day to look at it, the second day I'm working on it.
In terms of TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you prefer the longer schedule or
so much easier?
Yeah. I'm sure. How many people are on your team at this point?
Myself and a gentleman named Christopher Sasato, who gets the credit as the A2 on the show, because I worked with him for many years.
Yeah.
He's my A2. He's my alter egos for doing the sound effects.
Yeah. What does he bring to the team?
Excuse me. He's very good at Pro Tools.
Oh, okay.
Which you have to be very good at.
Yeah.
I'm okay at Pro Tools.
Sure.
You know, I don't do MIDI on Pro Tools because I draw a blind completely.
Yeah, sure.
But the music guys do, and Chris does, and he's a very good mixer. So he works good in the studio. I'll send him effects. He'll play the effects day of if I'm not there.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll put them in so the actors can react to them.
Yeah.
Puppeteers can hear the crash and they know how to react.
Yeah.
Now we want to do that because they want to have something to react to. Muppeteers are very spoiled people that want their cues.
Do you have a favorite sound in general? Not even one that you've done, but just like the birds chirping, the cars honking.
Well, some of my favorite sounds have always been, the Cookie Monster burping was always my favorite because it's so stupid. But just general cartoon effects are fun.
Yeah.
If I had to pick a real sound effect, is I think the parrot squawking. Because sometimes they have live voices, and then I have to get the squawk and the pitch of the voice that they use.
That's very funny. Did you like cartoons growing up?
Sure, I did.
Did you have a favorite?
Well, sure. I watched, what was the one, Magic Twanger?
Oh, yeah.
Plunker Magic Twanger. That was the first sound effect I ever heard. That I want to know how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned what a boing box was. And now I have a boing box.
That's got to feel like
so I can pluck my Magic Twanger anytime I want.
What do you think people should know if they want to get into this line of business?
It's well, first of all, there's several things. First of all, you have to have a desire to want to do that kind of work, and you want to get in. You want to use sound. You want to hear sound effects. You want to do sci and live sound effects, and you have to have a certain knack for. When I say by knack, that's the eye, the eye hand ability. Just create a
coordination. Yeah.
And then the desire to. Let's say you're a mixer and you want to do some sound effects for a cartoon show. Well, there's lots of libraries. You can call Sound Ideas, and they've got thousands and thousands of effects. You can just hire them. You can buy them.
Yeah. And
you can use them. But a lot of people are restricted because you have to make sure that you're licensed to do that. Because they can, and there has been suits that, you can't use that.
That makes sense.
For example, all the stuff I use on Sesame Street goes to Sesame Street.
Yeah.
For their use in the show. My contract.
Yeah.
But they can't then extract my sound effects and sell them as sound effects.
Sure.
So that protects the original end user.
So you own all of those sound effects?
Yes, I do. I have a license to them. I bought them and I own them.
Yeah.
But I have a license to use them.
Okay.
And so when I do put them on Sesame Street, they're licensed to be used that way.
Wow.
So this way the workshop is protected. And they have had lawyers call me and triple check and double check. And, they get they get their
They get nervous. I'm sure
they get their underwear in an uproar.
Yes, of course.
It's not legal. Yeah.
Of course. Do you find it harder to do sound effects on studio stuff or exterior, like shot on location things?
It's very hard in the studio because you're working live to live action.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not the end of the world because even when you're working live to live action, you know it's going in a separate track and it's going to be remixed later.
Sure.
So you know you're going to have another pass at it.
Yeah.
And then you have a third pass when it goes into the full show, where you assemble a full show of things, which is an hour long. And so you have 3 different passes at it. Sure. So you can get the stuff fixed. So you feel confident. You can, no matter what you do, no matter what producer wants or doesn't want, you can always find a way to mitigate it.
Yeah. How often do you feel like you wish you could go back and change things when you hear them?
Well, I see a lot of things. I said, God, what was I thinking? And because I was young and I would have done things differently.
Yeah.
Like I can think of a better effect for this. Oh, I could have done that better.
Yeah.
And you go back and you're judging your own work.
Yeah.
But you realize that you get better as you get older.
Sure.
The stuff I'm doing now, I take the extra time. So when I'm doing sound effects, I take a lot of extra time.
Mm-hmm.
If I was charging by the hour, they couldn't afford me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Even at some silly amount of money, they couldn't afford the amount of time I
Yeah.
spent looking at the picture, analyzing it, going through sampling different sound effects, doing it. It's a career for me, and it's a love of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my investment in what I do.
I think that tracks, like the thing watching this show growing up and for years before I was born was like, it feels real and it all feels like these characters exist. And I feel like sound is such a big part of that. And I'm sure that is the goal, is like, well, let's make this feel like these
It is the goal.
Things actually exist,
What Jim and I discovered, when anytime a puppet does something,
yeah,
it makes a sound.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the kids won't believe it.
Yeah.
They will walk up to a person at the studio, and the puppet's sitting on the lap, and the puppet is talking. They're talking to the puppet.
Mm-hmm.
They know the guy is using the voice is coming from the guy next door.
Yeah.
They're talking to the puppet.
Yeah.
Willing suspension of disbelief.
Sure.
That's what it's called.
The guy next door is the best way to describe it. Because it is.
That blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did Fat Blue yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He was having a bowl of soup, so I did a great big slurp for his.
Great.
And then he jumped down in his patent leather shoes and walked off.
He's one of my favorite guys. I was talking, I did a record with Ryan Dillon, who does Elmo now, of course. And we were talking about how much we love Fat Blue and how if there's another Sesame movie, it should be about Fat Blue because a bad life. That guy's got a bad life.
The life of Fat Blue.
Yes.
Is something
Yes. What were you slurping? Yeah.
That rash this morning. Okay.
Yeah. What were you slurping?
What I did to do the slurp is I had a glass of orange juice and I just picked it up and leaned into the shotgun microphone and
That's great. That's great. I love it.
Because it would take me 10 minutes to go find out. Of course. I'd go through, I type in search in my thing.
Yeah.
There's like 150 slurps I could have gone to. I said, I'm not going to listen to 150 slurps.
And you can drink some orange juice.
That's right.
So it all pays off. Now we're wrapping up on this. When you think of Sesame Street, what is the moment that comes to your brain?
Well, it's funny, but when the opening of the show comes, it's a greeting. That's always, they do the greeting. That's the thing they do. They focus on the greeting, but it's the goodbye.
Yeah.
And because you know that if you do it right, the show is good. And they get to the goodbye. The kid's going to want to watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And that's the goal.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing this.
My pleasure.
This has been great. Good stuff, Brian.
Hey, we're back. Patrick, I learned nothing.
Wow.
I didn't listen to it yet because we recorded this before I got a chance to.
Yeah. Okay, what's your idea? Do your thing.
I don't really have one. Why are you so mad about this?
I hate these things.
Why?
When people do this online.
What do you mean?
Wait, what did you suggest we do?
One Muppet.
Yeah.
Everybody else is human.
Oh, one Muppet, everyone else is...
Yeah, I'm not saying it's going to be like, I'm not saying anything to do with pre-existing Muppet. I'm like, Disney goes, here, we're not using this guy. Or Children's Television Workshop goes, yeah, you can have this guy. You can
have this one.
But everyone else is all actors and stuff.
What is the project?
TV show or movie. You can
anything?
Pick. Yeah. See, I had, growing up, and recently, I wanted to do Fozzie in the 70s on the Sunset Strip.
Yeah,
being
that's
a comedian. That's I would love that. But I said no Fozzie. It has to be a lower rung one.
Oh, so Grover's too high.
Grover would be brilliant, by the way. If you just did a DCU type movie or Marvel, but with Super Grover.
I looked over at my shelf, and the first thing I saw was Sopranos.
Oh boy!
And Grover as Little Steven.
Okay.
Is like pretty good.
Okay, I was thinking Johnny Fiamma and Sal in The Sopranos.
The dream.
By the way, that's
the dream.
might be
if
it.
Johnny Fiamma played Johnny Sack in Sopranos, that would rule.
I'm not even saying it has to be an adaptation.
Yeah.
How great would a mob movie be?
Yes.
But the guy is Johnny Fiamma. It's about his rise.
I agree.
And Sal. Well, there's two though, so I just negated it.
Should we email Beretta about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we are the head of the Johnny Fiamma and Sal fan club. We truly love them more than anyone else. We
did a Muppets Tonight marathon on the George Stark Show during COVID, and Brian Henson and Beretta were on at the same time. And I was like, I want Johnny and Sal back. You don't understand. Like, it's time. Bring them back. And they said, yeah, we'll work on it. And then the next thing that came out was Muppets Haunted Mansion, and guess who was in it?
Yeah, they were.
For the first time in 15 years.
Right.
So I like to
thank you.
I like to think that I did that.
The best Muppets are ones that are usually part of a duo.
Yeah,
and usually it's like opposites, like Grover and what's the guy's
Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. I would say Mr. Smith in my head, and Bert and Ernie and Kermit and Fozzie or Kermit and Piggy.
Yeah,
Bunsen and Beaker. I can keep going.
Sure,
but those two they love each other, but they are so funny together. They're a great comic duo. That I'm officially going to make that my thing. I would take them and put them in a situation. Even if it was like a biopic about him being a singer in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that movie.
Trying to think of a Sesame one.
Oh, boy. I mean, Grover, if we could.
Yeah.
That would be insane. By the way, a New Zealand movie would also be pretty cool about his talent. Telly would be great, Sesame.
Sure.
I don't know what you do. I always want to do a Bert and Ernie.
Telly as like Columbo would be fun.
Oh, okay.
There is a Columbo parody, Columbo. He was a lamb.
Why do you know this?
Yeah.
Remember Meryl Sheep?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. She had an article in People magazine. They were so excited about that character. Why do we know so much about Muppets? What's wrong with us, do you think?
Problem. Yeah. It's a real problem.
Do you think a third of the podcast episodes are about Muppet-related?
What about Kermit and Robin in Looper?
Okay. Well, Kermit's A-list.
No, I know. But I'm just looking over and I'm like, who's a young and an older version of him?
Well, why do you like Gonzo and Baby Gonzo from Muppet Babies? You don't like Muppet Babies. I'm going to just announce it to the world. You're not a big fan.
It's not my thing.
I like both versions of the Muppet Babies show. They're great.
I like the newer one is fun.
The older one isn't to you? Yeah. Where they make Star Wars?
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while because it's not really available most places.
Patrick, you disappoint me.
Brian, tell our people to go check out our Patreon.
Hey, go check out our Patreon, you.
Patreon.com/commentary. You can get a whole bunch of cool stuff. Sign up for like $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever.
And we'll give you prizes.
It's all very helpful for the show. It helps keep the lights on in the apartment that we record in.
We only use this apartment for the podcast.
Yeah, I don't even live here.
We don't know who these people are that are staring at us.
And go check us out on Instagram at Brian Michael Lynch, at Cotner.
Those are two different ones for the record.
Go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or YouTube or Spotify or wherever you want to listen to stuff. Tell your friends about the show and have a lovely day.
Oh, that you ended it so good. You were very demanding for like 2 minutes, and then at the end you were very like, oh, okay, I like you now.
Bye, Brian.
Blurpo.
Out. Thanks for listening to Hey That's Me, Commentary Podcast. This has been a That Was Just So Funny production. Your hosts have been Brian Lynch and Patrick Cotner. Music was by Alex Peabody, and our art was by Abigail Noy. You can find out more about the show by going to heythat'smepod.com and checking out our Patreon at patreon.com/commentary. If you've enjoyed the show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Please tell your friends about this show.